Welcome to another instalment of the Carp Fix session films, and you find me somewhere a little bit different. We are at Mill Lodge Retreat, which is in Brentwood, Essex, and it's a really small, I would say, farm lake, probably 3 to 4 acres in size. But unlike most fisheries, it's surrounded with glamping pods. So you've got a double bed inside the lodge, you've got a set of bunk beds, you've got a TV, you've got Wi-Fi, you've got a hot tub, you've got a fire pit, you've got all of the luxuries that you'd associate with glamping. Now, obviously, being the end of January, it's a quieter time of year for this sort of thing, and they've been in contact to say that we could come up and make a film. And because I've not been fishing this side of Christmas, I thought I needed somewhere to dust the cobwebs off my kit, hopefully catch a couple, whilst at the same time in the comforts of what you have here at Mill Lodge. Now, prior to us arriving, I know that Lee Morris was here with somebody else making a film, and they were sort of dotted around this end of the lake, and they caught, I think they've caught 10 fish between them in a couple of nights, which is really good going. Obviously at this time of year, freezing cold water temperatures. You know, the daytime temperature at the moment is 6 degrees, and it's been colder than that overnight. Now, the most interesting thing is that the fish are at the shallow end of the lake, and the majority of the fish they've caught have been under this willow. I think Lee had 4 of his 6 under this willow, and I think there was another 4 caught from this willow. So, you know, 8 bites from the 2 sort of main features at this end of the lake. And because it is so quiet, I picked the middle pod so that I can fish both of these areas. Now, I haven't seen any signs of fish, as you often don't in the winter. You know, it's quite a regular thing not to see any activity. But because they've caught so many, I think this is a great place to start. Tomorrow, the forecast is for the wind to trickle this way, but more importantly, it's meant to be sunny. The sun's going to be out all day, and I think if this is the shallow end, this is the form end, I think we'd be really silly to start elsewhere. So yeah, we're going to be rushing against the light this afternoon. It's 1:30 now. We're going to rush the rods out before it gets too dark, and then we'll be sampling some of the lovely food here at Mill Lodge. But yeah, enough waffle. Let's get the rods sorted. Let's get the bank stick screwed to the deck, and let's get fishing. Right, so far so good. Got 2 rods out, 1 on each willow. I've just moved my right hand rod, the one I put out first, moved it onto the middle alarm, because I'm going to put 2 under that willow. The first one went right under the middle, and I put one just under the fringe. You know, it felt pretty shallow where that first one went down, so I'm going to put this one just a fraction further off the island, a little bit of deeper water hopefully. I think that's the spot that produced the most bites in the days leading up to it, and until we see something, I think 4 fish off one spot, I think that's not to be sniffed at. So yeah, I'm going to have 2 under that willow, 1 under this one on the left, and then what I've done, I've put a handful of maggots in each boat and a little golf ball sized mesh bag of maggots on the hook. Not for any particular reason, you know, but it is nice just to have a little tiny clump of them right around the hook bait, and then you've got that one handful that should sort of sprinkle down through the water. Now I have on one of the rods I've got a maggot hook bait that at some point in the session I'll show you how I've done that in detail. And when things are tough, I've been told that the maggot hook bait is the one, but it is messy. So the 2 other rods have just got 12mm salty squid pink wafters, just for speed, because we're rushing against the light this evening. But yeah, so far so good. Right, just got it just under the fringe of that willow, so it's probably about 6 foot to the right of where the middle rod now is, but it's still sort of would be difficult to cast it there, if you know what I mean. It's yeah, it's still under, but not up the shelf of the island as much as the other one. She's down. A little bit deeper there, you can see it on the line. Right then, all 3 rods in position. Not seen a single sign of a carp while setting up. I know that's quite normal in winter, but it is always nice to be sure of your location, you know, because they're not going to be swimming around that much. That said, a few fish out here in the last couple of days. Quite a few people fishing up the other end of the lake, so it's fairly busy, bit of line pressure down there. And with the sun coming out tomorrow, I do think we've got a good chance, but yeah, let's see how it pans out. And yeah, chicken burger this evening. How about that delivered straight to the old log cabin? Yeah, looking forward to that. Right then, a very, very quiet night. No bleeps, no carp, no signs that any fish were here. And other than a good night's sleep, not a lot to report. However, this morning, just after it got light, came out onto the wood platforms and was having a chat with Barry, and I've had a bit of a stuttery take on the middle rod.
Like that, yeah.
Oh, I'm away. Unless it's a bird.
No, it's a fish, it's a fish.
Oh.
It is, yeah.
Well, so a bit of a stuttery take, and I picked into it. I didn't really make proper contact. It was, I think where I'm fishing slack lines, it was sort of, my line was caught in the bottom, the fish had come sort of back towards me, but it was definitely on for a few seconds. I wound down and it was on, and then I realised that I didn't have my microphone pack turned on. So I'm in the process of handing that to Ash to get him to turn the microphone pack on. And as quickly as all that's happened, I've lost it. So not a great start, but at the same time, if that rig was in position all evening, all night, and it lay there and it was picked up this morning, that tells me that either the fish have just come on the feed or they've just arrived. So I think the most important thing is to get the rod back under the tree as quickly as possible. Sun's going to be out today, which is really good for the shallows. And one other interesting thing is it came on the only rod that was tipped with the maggots. But yeah, we'll get that one back out there, back on the spot, because the sun is coming over the trees, straight on that willow, and there might be a chance for another bit of action yet. She's down. When picking a venue for a winter session, particularly when it is really, really good and you don't have what I would call favourable conditions, in this instance, the best thing that you can do is pick a small, shallow lake that has a lot of fish and no weed. So Mill Lodge is absolutely perfect and ticks all of those boxes. You know, it's got depths of 6 to 10 feet. It's got a good head of fish, over 200 fish, and it's small, so you're never going to be a million miles from them. And the other thing that I mentioned obviously is the weed. You know, the fish will hold up in weedy lakes, tend not to move around too much and have all the natural food they could ever want within the weediest parts of the lake. So yeah, small lake, a well-stocked lake, no weed, and not too deep, and you'll be in with a chance.